This is a period where writers, photographers, illustrators saw themselves as very much like the French flaneur, the figure who walked around the city, perhaps aimlessly, observing what is going on and taking in the different individuals who occupied the streets. And women were increasingly seen as a new category of protagonist, certainly as consumers. And there were even surveys taken on Tokyo streets by social scientists to gauge how many women and men, in this case, wore what kind of clothes. Were they wearing Western clothes? Were they wearing Japanese clothes? And so people from academics to journalists to artists were interested in what was happening on Tokyo streets.
The idea of depicting women in these kinds of prints at the beginning of the 20th century was a real challenge to Japanese artists, because for 400 years there was really only one kind of woman depicted in a Japanese print, and that was a woman of the evening. And it was a challenge to begin to domesticate the image of the woman, to see her as a mother, a homemaker, a wife, saying farewell to her man as he sails off to Manchuria to do battle with the Russians or the Chinese, depending on the war, depicting women as nurses. And now you're seeing women depicted in the urban setting. Another point that comes up in these images of women is how they get to the city. Because transportation is not just paid for by the government. Department stores at the center of the city are creating these private railway lines from the suburbs so that people can come in and shop and go back to their slightly out of the center of Tokyo homes. And who are riding in these subways? Women are depicted. So they're using transportation too. So it's really quite interesting.
It's all mixed up with consumer society.
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
the great hubs, the great railway or tram or subway stations are fantastic complexes that lead you into huge department stores and whole neighborhoods of places to wine and dine and cafes, and they're all over the city. There are these hubs, so the subways, part of the emergence of Tokyo as a modern city is just the subway lines that go in a circle around the city, and then the feeder lines that come into the city from the suburbs, and suddenly it becomes amazing. And women are major consumers and major walkers in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And if students want to learn more about that, they should go to the units on visualizing cultures and the Shiseido, selling Shiseido units.